All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So in Mike LaFleur's his latest press conference, he basically admitted that Zach Wilson, in hindsight, probably would have been better off sitting on the bench, watching a veteran quarterback essentially take the reins, and that way Wilson can sit on the bench and grow physically, mentally, and probably would have ended up as a more developed quarterback today. And I have the video pulled up right here. I figured we could take a look and kind of react to it at once, and then kind of give our take afterwards. So let's dive in.
When you evaluate quarterbacks, Mike, and there are some guys that, I think it's kind of the thing that everyone's talking about now is Gino's gone on and played well after some years sitting and watching, and Sam has gone on and played well after some years sitting and watching. Could Zach just be one of those players?
Yeah, it's a good question, Connor, and it kind of is what it is in 2023 now, I guess you could say. Like, people don't want to wait. They want the instant gratification of these rookies, these second-year guys to be superstars, and understandably so. You get why this is a highly competitive environment. I use the example of what's going on in Green Bay right now. Obviously, it was Brett Favre. Aaron sat for 5 years, and Jordan Love's kind of going through it right now. And I'm not there at practice. I can just go off of the words what I hear, but just how much improvement he's had through 3 years, of sitting there watching Aaron going through the scout team and all that, and that was his path. That is his path, and we'll see what holds, for Jordan. Similar to Zach, in hindsight, it probably would have benefited, just to sit back and learn a little bit and watch a veteran and do it and just kind of grow, in this league, kind of in the back seat watching and getting better in practice and getting better in through scout team and all that. But again, that wasn't the course that we went. And, from here, we got to pick it up. We got to pick up the scraps, and we got to get back to work.
Okay, so what I think is crazy, I think Mike LaFleur was spot on with what he said with the whole instant gratification thing. Not everybody's Justin Herbert. You enter the league and you're automatically like this top level quarterback. We can go down the list of different positions, and all these different rookies that just look like instant superstars. Sauce Gardner being one of them. Some guys take time to grow, and when we're looking at the quarterback position, there is going to be, for the most part, like realistically speaking, there's going to be a bit of a learning curve. And I think LaFleur is spot on, and he brought up the Green Bay Packers situation with Favre going to Rodgers and Rodgers sitting on the bench and watching Favre do it. Now Jordan Love is watching Rodgers do it. And LaFleur obviously has that inside info from Green Bay because his brother's the head coach and Matt. And my question is that if this was known, this is a pretty... Look, I'm not an offensive coordinator. I'm not some former NFL coach or anything like that. I've worked with some coaches, some college coaches, but man, I just felt like it was obvious. I felt like it was obvious to bring in a veteran quarterback. I'm not talking about some, starter and we got to keep Zach on the bench for 3 years. But at least for the first half of his rookie season, I would have liked to see Zach on the bench, or I guess bare minimum, bring in a veteran quarterback and just let the quarterbacks compete. At the time, it was Zach Wilson, Mike White, and James Morgan. Nobody out of those three had real NFL regular season snaps. Mike White had experience with the Dallas Cowboys, but he wasn't thrown in games or anything like that. There wasn't a lot that he could bring to the table from an overall experience standpoint. And I remember having an issue with it at the time. I remember a lot of you guys had a major issue with it at the time. Even if you want to roll Zach Wilson out there, at least have the veteran as a backup option, kind of like Sam Darnold with Josh McCown. Back when, Darnold was with the Jets, he would go on and on about how much Josh meant to him and his development. Obviously, it didn't work out with the Jets, but, it probably would have went a lot worse if Josh wasn't there. So my question here is that if this is pretty obvious info, everybody kind of wanted this. He's referencing a situation that's happening with his brother currently in Green Bay. Then why wasn't it done in New York? It's not like the Jets didn't have cap space. We could afford to bring in somebody right? I mean, there was plenty of options out there. Guys that actually knew the San Francisco system, guys that knew what Mike LaFleur wanted to do, guys that have worked with LaFleur, guys that have gone up against Saleh's defensive practice, like CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. Those were the top two kind of veteran quarterbacks that, that I was looking at the time. But I mean, we could go down the list of all these, different veteran mentor types of QBs, like a Matt Barkley. We could have maybe brought in Joe Flacco earlier. Who else? They maybe could have gone after an Andy Dalton, right? We're seeing what he's doing with the Saints, a Marcus Mariota. It's just somebody who could at least run the offense, to an effective manner for the majority of the regular season. Teddy Bridgewater was out there. Like, there was a lot of different options. These guys weren't asking for $25 million a season. They weren't asking for $30 million a season. The Jets had plenty of cap space. Why wasn't it done? Why wasn't the veteran quarterback brought in? Was it because the organization thought Wilson was further along? Did they think that maybe the veteran that they had their eye on would take away from Wilson and kind of sabotage him, basically coming in with the mentality of, this is my team, because we have seen that before. Let's be honest, we have seen some veteran quarterbacks, arrive at a new destination, and maybe there's a rookie or a young QB there, and they don't even bother helping. Okay, so maybe that was the case, but to me, it's just no excuse to be in this position right now. We had so many opportunities. It wasn't just like a flash in the pan, like, oh, this random guy hit the free agency market, we got to bring him in. Oh, we didn't. He had a big market. Man, we missed our chance. It was quarterback after quarterback after quarterback after quarterback, and the Jets could afford it. So I think right now, hindsight's always 2020. We can look back and correct our mistakes and say, oh, we should have done this, we shouldn't have done that, stuff like that. I totally get that. But for me, the part that's just sticking with me is, like, I felt like it was obvious. I felt like it's just common sense, like where you draft a quarterback, Zach Wilson, where it's like, yeah, tons of great potential, really, really high ceiling. The physical traits are there, but it's like, is he ready to play? Has to kind of be developed. Plays with the hero ball mentality in college. That's going to be that's something that has to be, reined in a little bit at the pro level. He's going to have to take a lot of practice snaps. He's going to have to spend a lot of time in training camp, really just honing his craft and growing into a better quarterback. Maybe having a veteran option in the building could have not only just helped Wilson in that process, in the meeting rooms, in practice, but also extended Wilson's leash a bit as far as playing. So to me, it's just a swing and a miss by this Jets team. I don't know who was the shot caller. I don't know if maybe LaFleur wanted a veteran and Joe Douglas didn't want to go out and spend the money. Maybe that was the case. Maybe the organization wanted to bring somebody in and LaFleur said, no, we don't want a veteran. I don't know. We'll never really know, the significant details of the exact situation. But the point is, we're here. Right, we're here. We're 2 years into the Zach Wilson thing, and so far it just has not worked out. Is Zach Wilson doomed? No. Like, he still has room to grow. He still can get better. His development isn't halted. The Jets have got to ask the question, what can we do today? What can we do this offseason to not only just better the team, better the quarterback room, but also better Zach Wilson moving forward? And I think the answer to all three of those questions is to bring in a competent veteran, whether that's a Derek Carr, whether that's a Jimmy Garoppolo. I mean, Lamar Jackson, that'd be great. There's some talk about, Aaron Rodgers amongst the fans. I'd be totally cool with that. But regardless, whether it's like a top end quarterback like that or not, a veteran quarterback option that could actually function and run the offense well and effectively, that is the plan. Like the Jets cannot just go through this offseason and have the same thing happen to him next year. Something has to be done here. I don't like, let's say, for example, the Jets signed Jimmy G. I don't think that hurts Zach Wilson in his development whatsoever. Same thing with Derek Carr, So let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. It should be really, really interesting. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. And as always, go Jets.